Good morning, everybody. This is Kristen once again coming to you with Wuthering Reader Reviews. So I'm behind on everything in life. I set myself a reading goal for 150 books this year. It was lofty, I admit that for sure, but I read 120 last year and I felt like I wasn't like cramming anything. So I don't know, I thought it would be easy, but it is almost June, which is the halfway point. I'm at 50 books. I don't know how this is happening. I have been reading a lot of longer books this year, so I am going to do a 24-hour readathon to kind of catch up on things. I have chosen a bunch of shorter books, and we're just gonna have at it. This is my first readathon. So with that, I'm just going to quickly go over what I'm planning on reading this weekend. There's really no need to give descriptions because you're going to be hearing about it throughout the same video. So, like I said, short books, starting off with, this is a compilation book of some Stephen King stories. I think this is his first 3. And I've been getting more and more into Stephen King lately, so I want to try to start reading things in the order that he wrote them, because there is a very intricate Easter eggy universe he has out there, and I want to be able to catch all of the references, so reading them in order is probably the best bet. Starting with a fairly short book. It's like the first 200 pages of this one. That's Carrie, so going to be reading that one. And since I am starting this at midnight tonight after an 8-hour shift in a retail job, I'm going to be pretty beat, so in order to stay up late tonight, hopefully reading, I'm going to get some spooky stories with scary stories to tell in the dark, and then try the novella of The Woman in Black by Susan Hill. Moving on to some other reads I'm going to have to choose from throughout all this. Obviously, I'm not going to get all these read in a span of 24 hours, but I sure am going to try. That is The Girl's Guide to Hunting and Fishing, and as far as I know, this is a short story book. And as you guys know, I have been devouring short story books lately. This is one I am hoping to get through, and I just loved the cover. Like, I had seen this book before, but never this exact cover, and I feel terrible that that's the reason I bought it, but you know. Going over to thriller, I want to try Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough. I know nothing about this, and they say that's the best way to go into it, other than there's a big twist. Like, that's a surprise in thrillers. And then my book of the month from last month was How Not to Die Alone. And I think this is a guy who works in a mortuary, and it looked sweet. So my goal is to read 5 of them in the next 24 hours. So wish me luck, guys. I'm going to go to work, and I'll see you all again at midnight. Hello. It is nighttime. It is after work. I am sitting here in my comfy clothes with my comfy cup of tea. I just wanted to recommend this stuff to you guys because it's honestly the best stuff ever. It's Good Earth, sweet and spicy. It is an orange and cinnamon tea. Although I wouldn't think that would be my favorite combination, it definitely is. Guys, try it out. No one's paying me to say this, obviously. I'm just excited. It is almost midnight, so the readathon can officially begin with one of the shorter books. Haha. Carrie. It goes to about this pink thing here, so like it's 200 pages. So let's get to it. Hello all. It is 2 in the morning. I just finished Carrie and am in bed. I do not think I can stay awake much longer. I fell asleep like twice while doing this, so I liked it. Not as much as the other Stephen King books. It is still pretty excellent for a first novel, and honestly just solidifies my views that prom is a terrible idea and should not be a thing. So more on that whenever I'm more coherent. So see you in the morning, kiddos. Good morning, everyone. So I woke up way too late. Did not mean to sleep in that much. I'm also out of coffee, so it's been a fun morning. I have made some progress, though. As I was getting ready this morning, I was able to finish an audiobook I had been listening to. That was Night Flyers by George R.R. Martin. I'm still not sure how I feel about it. It's one of those things, and it's with novellas. I just can't, I feel like I can't give it as good as a rating because the characters never seem developed enough for me. because we don't get much time with them. I do think the lead was amazing and the captain of the ship was really well done, but everyone else just kind of seemed like throwaway stuff. Basically, it is a science fiction horror that follows this group of researchers off to find this alien race that's never been contacted with before. And their captain is only a hologram of a guy. They have never met him, so whenever things start happening, suspicions rise, people are blamed, and it's a bunch of bickering that ends in some pretty wonderful gory stuff. I'm not going to talk about that though. With that, I can't say that much without spoiling anything. Like I said, characters were kind of lackluster other than the main two, and then the setting was really cool, the suspense was really cool, I liked the ending. So honestly, I feel like it's one that would be like a 3.5 or a 4 out of 5 stars. I'm going to need more time to process. I really need coffee, but I vowed to not leave. I am reading today, so you guys are going to see me in rare form. So, moving on to next, I've decided to read Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark during the daytime, which was not the plan, but we are going to anyways, because I've just been craving some spooky stuff, and some good spooky stuff. I hear these are like excellent stories. I have just never gotten around to reading them. So, let's get to it. So, I have finished the first chapter of this, and this is freaking adorable. So, I don't know. A lot of people built these up to be really scary. They are pretty spooky. I love the illustrations. They're just done so well, and that's the scary part. But it's so cute because this first chapter is all about adding jump scares to your stories. It's obviously supposed to be read out loud to a group of friends at nighttime and stuff. It just gives you all of these little cues to like scare your friends, because it says you have to talk in a really low, really slow voice, and then it just gives you cues to scream or like tackle the person next to you. I think that's freaking adorable, and I really wish I would have had this at sleepovers as a kid. So, going on to chapter 2. Alright, so I just finished Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and honestly, I have no idea how they're going to adapt this into a movie. These were mostly really silly, although what really, really shined were the illustrations. They were just gorgeous. I am excited to see what they do with the movie on these. I know there are a couple other books. Maybe things do get a little more spooky, a little less silly. The stories really weren't that long enough either to warrant a movie as far as I can tell, but I'm excited to see what they do with it, and I am going to make myself some lunch now, and then I'm probably going to get to the next book. I feel like I've been cheating by only reading my short ones, so next I'm going to get into Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pimborough. Know nothing about this other than thriller, big twist, everything. Yeah, this one's going to take me a little longer to read, but I feel pretty good after finishing a book this morning. I'm going to just ride that reader's high and continue on with some chicken. So, hello again. I have eaten lunch and I've read part 1 of Behind Her Eyes. I'm not sure how I'm liking it so far. It's on the surface, it seems to be another kind of domestic drama dealing with married people, not married people, perhaps affairs and whatnot. But there is something in it that is kind of keeping me going. There is still an air of mystery to it. Definitely something weird going on in the couple's past, and I don't know, it's going to keep me going to read on to part 2. We'll be hearing more later. My head is killing me. Ran out of coffee and forgot I ran out of coffee, and today was a day I wasn't really planning on going out, but I may have to go out in a bit and get some, because like my head is splitting despite the nice quiet morning. It's just, I did not pick a good time to do this, but onward we press, children. Onward we press. Hello, I'm not that much farther into the book. I still have like 100 pages left. I keep dozing off. I have no idea why. Maybe the lack of coffee. Migraine is also kind of acting up, so it's slow going. Okay, so I'm 100 pages away from the end, and everyone keeps talking about what a great twist this book has, but I think I've got it. So I'm just going to timestamp now 100 pages there. I'm not going to say what, just in case it does turn out being true. I don't want any spoilers, but a couple of the things actually sound really reminiscent of a book that I read like way back when, like in junior high, like a supernatural teen thriller. I don't know. Perhaps. I will have more news for you later. Hey, so right now I'm taking a little bit of a break to go visit my boyfriend on his break at work and to get some fresh air and then some coffee, and hopefully things will be able to be more productive after that. Hello and welcome to a brief hiatus. As soon as you're taking a bite. Here's Elias. I'm sure you all remember him.
Hello!
He looks a little different. He's gotten a nose job since our last video.
Cost me everything.
Everything.
What's that food? She caught me on my break.
Yeah, I was taking a break and I was telling him my predictions for the end of this book, which threw him off, but it is not going to throw me off.
I said he's gonna get killed by a piece of toast.
We'll see who's right.
That's how I would kill all of my characters off.
You have Chick-fil-A sauce.
Do I really?
Honestly, it's weird how little I feel I've done today. Normally on days off, I try to be as productive as possible, and I know that reading is mind enriching and a great thing to do, but my body sees it as laziness and instantly just wants to sleep when I'm doing any form of relaxing. So, hoping that after getting a little fresh air, seeing some people, and just whatever will help me feel revitalized enough to continue on this readathon and actually get some more groundwork done. So, yeah. Alright, so I just finished Behind Her Eyes. I guessed part of the twist. It had an extra twist at the end. But with that, even though it did surprise me, I don't think it's a very good book. The characters weren't that great. Like, I wasn't rooting for anybody. The relationships between the characters seemed a bit forced. The main relationship that the book was pressing for, I did not care about, and I don't know. I can't really say too much without spoiling it, though. I have heard this premise before. So the book is basically about a woman who starts sleeping with a married man while suddenly becoming friends with his wife. So not only is there a lot of kerfuffly drama there is an added supernatural element that I didn't expect. I guess most people didn't expect whenever it came to this book, but once that was added in there, the twist was pretty easy to guess. And honestly, everything that happened in the book happened because of the lead character's stupidity. She made every single wrong decision. And honestly, all of the other characters were pretty bad too, although the antagonist was a bit delightful in reveling in their antagonism. I liked that. Other than that, there's really not much there. I'd probably give this like maybe 2 stars, giving it a star for plot, and then just another one for the antagonist. That's pretty much it. I'm probably not going to be revisiting this author. I don't know, maybe I'm just not a huge fan of domestic thrillers, or like, I don't know, ones that are just kind of going for the twists. I've talked about this before, on how books tend to lose a lot of aspects while just concentrating on being as twisty and unexpected as possible. So, whatever. I need to figure out what to read next. I still have a few hours left to this readathon. I really don't feel like I've done much. Alright, so with that, I have decided to read a book I'm pretty sure I'm going to like, just so we can finish this readathon on a positive note, and that's going to be The Girl's Guide to Hunting and Fishing by Melissa Bank. Now, I did say earlier that these were short stories. These are not short stories. It is a work of fiction. I do not know where I had heard before that they were short stories, but whatever. So I'm excited about this. It's supposed to be a comedic sexual journey about a girl coming to her own. Excited for some quirky coming of age stuff. Well, guys, it is officially past midnight, and I did not finish the book. Much as I wanted to, I got about halfway through A Girl's Guide to Hunting and Fishing, which so far I'm really loving. Like, it's very readable. It's not that it was slow or anything, just ran out of time. So you're going to get a full review on that later, obviously, since I can't say anything yet. It's mainly kind of going through this girl's life throughout different chapters, kind of dealing with all the relationships she gets into, all the relationships she sees that shapes her views on love. It's just a really good character study, and I'm really enjoying it. I can't wait to finish it. For right now, I'm going to go to bed. Thanks, guys, for dealing with me. This was my first readathon vlog. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. Hope you all have a really good night. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do this again sometime. Like I said, I had a lot of fun. I like getting caught up on where I need to be, and I need to read a lot more if I want to meet my goal this year. So, all in all, that was 4.5 books, so pretty successful, I think. I hope you all have a good night. Yeah, thanks for following me on this sad and strange journey. Bye, guys.